Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. Today is the 29th of May 2023. And last week, guys, there was Bitcoin Miami. Unfortunately, it has not had any impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, historically, whenever there used to be an event called as Bitcoin Miami or Bitcoin in Sweden or other places, the prices definitely used to pump up. And the reason being, there was usually some kind of news regarding, let's say, some kind of partnership. El Salvador did actually announce that they were making Bitcoin a legal tender in one of the Bitcoin Miami events. Unfortunately, guys, this time the prices has not reflected in a positive way. But we won't be talking about that in today's episode. What we will be discussing today, guys, is a massive news regarding the US debt limit. And what I plan to do is, probably later on in the day or in the next coming days, I plan to release a standalone episode explaining the US debt ceiling, what it is, what kind of an impact will it have, and more importantly, how does it impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? So definitely stay tuned for that. So in today's episode, I'll very briefly touch base on some of the updates on the US debt ceiling and what kind of an impact will that have on the price of Bitcoin. And guys, regarding Bitcoin, there's a lot of hype surrounding Ordinals, and one of the projects is planning to build stablecoins via Ordinals. Now personally, I'm not a fan of it, but I'll definitely go and explore what that news is all about. And guys, we have some news regarding Binance BUSD's market cap. Now listen guys, Binance BUSD's market cap at one point of time was on the verge of crossing the $14 billion mark. Now unfortunately, the market cap has gone down by well over 60%. So we definitely go ahead and explore and discuss what that news is all about. So quite a lot to talk about that in today's episode. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, we're going to be discussing two news regarding Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is about Standard Chartered, and they are launching digital asset custody in Dubai, so we'll definitely go and explore what that news is all about. And they are doing that in partnership with DIFC and another custodial service. And the second news, guys, is regarding sub-update, and the update is that the Dubai Watchdog has highlighted risks in global cryptocurrency regulations. So I'll go ahead and give my thoughts and opinions on that. So quite a lot to cover in today's episode, so let's get started with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as we kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. They'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shaluk Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal guys, they are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Charlotte Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now, what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now, instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3, and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Charlotte Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now, if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Charlotte Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse, and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now, guys, since you're taking care of that, let's look at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good. It is only at $1.15 trillion. But what is going to happen in the next coming days? Maybe a little over a week is the US debt ceiling. And guys, I very strongly feel that once the US debt ceiling is increased, the global cryptocurrency market should definitely pump up. But as I say every time, guys, all price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time. And one thing which I did mention earlier as well, I do plan to release a standalone episode. And in that standalone episode, I'll go ahead and explain how is it that the US debt ceiling is increased and what kind of an impact will it have on Bitcoin. Now, since the last 24 hours, guys, the global cryptocurrency market is marginally up by 2.12%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours, though, is ridiculously low, and it is only at $24.49 billion. That being said, since the last 24 hours, It is up by 29.27%. So listen guys, the numbers were absolutely horrendous over the weekend, not at all surprising. The volume of stablecoins is once again absolutely horrendous. It is only at $1.64 billion and the total value locked is only at $47.6 billion and Lido is still dominating with 26.92%. And so far as its total value locked is concerned, it's only at $12.82 billion. And look guys, I wouldn't be surprised if this number changes in the second half of this year. And the reason being, once the US debt ceiling is increased, the global cryptocurrency market will kind of like have a breather. And I'm hoping a lot of innovations do actually kick in. And more importantly, people do actually start using DeFi because listen, if at all the cryptocurrency world has to take over or at least compete with the US dollar or the fiat currencies, DeFi has to definitely increase its volume, maybe even 5 or 10 times than what it is currently is, because as of today, DeFi is accounting for only 6.73% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and it's no surprise that the volume of stablecoins is actually dominating, and we'll be discussing some news regarding stablecoins in a bit. But before that, let's look at the 24-hour volume of DeFi. Uniswap is number 1, and its 24-hour trading volume is $413.63 million. So think of it guys, all over the world, the volume is only $413.63 million, less than $500 million. This is absolutely ridiculous number. And as I said, in order for cryptocurrencies to go mainstream, the volume of DeFi has to be 10 times better. We talk so much about Bitcoin creating a movement towards separation of money at the state. The matrix that we need to be looking at is the 24-hour trading volume, particularly of DeFi protocols, maybe even Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now PancakeSwap is number 2 so far as DeFi is concerned, and the 24-hour trading volume is $282.28 million. Dodo is number 3 and its 24-hour trading volume is $47.92 million. Core Finance at $47.54 million, and Meta TDEX at $37.05 million. And guys, now let's look at the volume of stablecoins. Not only is it ridiculously low, it is also accounting for a majority of the chunk of the total cryptocurrency market volume. This is absolutely horrendous, and guys, the matrix just does not make any sense. So let me give you the overall picture first. The 24-hour trading volume of all stablecoins is $22.37 billion, and stablecoin accounts for 91.34% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. This is absolutely horrendous, and listen to this guys. Out of the $22.37 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $17.31 billion, but if you look at Tether USDT's market cap, it is on an incline, so we really am not sure how that thing is possible. So Tether USDT's market cap is $83.12 billion. Circle USDC's market cap has gone down and it is at $29.05 billion. If you look at its 24-hour trading volume, it is exactly at $2 billion. But the scariest matrix and not so good thing for Binance is the 24-hour trading volume of Binance BUSD and its market cap. Listen to this guys, Binance BUSD's market cap is down to $5.27 billion, and later on in the episode I'm going to be discussing the tweet that CZ did actually mention earlier this year, and he was talking about Binance BUSD's market cap was somewhere around $14 billion, and he did actually tweet that it did actually go down by $2 billion. So at that point of time, or rather 24 hours before the tweet, Binance BUSD's market cap was $16 billion. Fast forward to a few months ahead to May, Binance BUSD's market cap is only $5.27 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume, guys, is ridiculously low at $1.54 billion. Now let's look at the market share. 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Bitcoin's market cap, guys, it is a little over the $500 billion mark, and it is $535 billion. Ethereum's market cap is $222 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum is not looking good either. Bitcoin is $11.8 billion, whereas Ethereum is $4.5 billion. The dominance, guys, of Bitcoin and Ethereum has been relatively consistent in 2023. It is at 46.70% for Bitcoin, and for Ethereum it is at 19.40%. Now since the last 24 hours, guys, one of the cryptocurrency protocol which is connected to privacy has definitely pumped up to the moon, and that is Mask Network. Now before I go ahead and explain what Mask Network is, let me just quickly run through the market cap of privacy coins, because Monero is clearly an outlier. and Monero's market cap is $2.84 billion. Mask Network, which is at number 2nd, is at $360 million, followed by Zcash at $289 million. Now listen guys, Mask Network definitely has the biggest gain since the last 24 hours, and it is up by 11.87%. Now this has unfortunately nothing to do with Bitcoin Miami news. Now one thing you need to understand that Mask Network, if you look at it over a period of 7 days, it is down by 1.46%. Now let me just very briefly explain what Mask Network is and what I'm thinking of doing guys. This particular week, I'll try to break down privacy coins before I get and talk about the main news. So in today's episode, I'll give you a very brief explanation, probably a minute or two on what Mask Network is. The Mask Network guys is a protocol that offers a unique set of features aimed at enhancing privacy and expanding the functionality of popular social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook. And you need to remember it serves as a bridge between the traditional internet and a decentralized network, bringing the benefits of decentralization to mainstream users. And one of the primary functionalities, guys, of Mask Network is the ability to enable encrypted messaging on social media platform. This is so critical, particularly looking at the left-leaning media and the left-leaning administration. It's so critical that we truly understand the benefits of privacy, and users, guys, using Mask Network can send messages that are protected by encryption, ensuring that only the intended recipients can access and read them. And this added layer of privacy ensures that conversations remain completely confidential and secure. And guys, in addition to encrypted messaging, Mask Network also facilitates cryptocurrency transactions, so users can send and receive cryptocurrencies directly through social media platforms, eliminating the need for external wallets or complex processes. And this feature opens up new possibilities for seamless peer-to-peer payments and makes it easier for individuals to participate in the crypto economy. Now think of it guys, can this be implemented in the metaverse? We're definitely far away from mainstream adoption of metaverse, but I'll definitely do some more research on this. But moreover guys, Mask Network allows users to share files securely. By leveraging encryption, users can share sensitive documents, images or other files with a selected group of people, ensuring that the content remains confidential and protected from unauthorized access. Another key aspect of Mask Network is its integration with decentralized applications or dApps, where users can access a range of dApps directly to the social media platforms, including functionalities such as crypto payments, DeFi or decentralized finance, e-commerce for digital goods, and even NFTs, and even DAO, that is decentralized autonomous organization. And this integration creates decentralized applet, also called as dApplet ecosystem, where users can enjoy the benefits of blockchain technology without the need to migrate to entirely new platforms. And overall guys, Mask Network stands out by providing users with enhanced privacy options, seamless cryptocurrency transactions, secure file sharing, and integration with a variety of decentralized apps. And it aims to bring the benefits of decentralization to mainstream social media users, empowering them to have more control over the data and engage in secure and private online interactions. And what are your thoughts guys regarding Mask Network? Mention them in the comments below. Now in tomorrow's episode, I'll try to cover Monero, then maybe one day I'll try to cover Zcash, and maybe Dash. Now if you do like this style, mention them in the comments below. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin is definitely looking good since the last 24 hours, but I wouldn't be surprised if the prices do actually tend to go down. Now as of today, it is at $27,550. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 3.04%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 2.36%. I do have this feeling guys, because of the news regarding the US debt ceiling, which I'm going to be talking about in the next few minutes. The prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have definitely pumped up, and we still have a long way to go to get clear finalization, and I'm looking at least a week's time, or maybe a little over a week's time, to get a full update on the US debt ceiling limit increase and how it's going to be increased. Now Ethereum is at $1,850 since the last 24 hours. It is up by 1.30%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 2.13%. Binance coin is at $309. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.36%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 0.17%. And guys, later on in the episode, I'm definitely going to touch base on Binance BUSD's market cap. But one thing you need to remember guys, one of the biggest events that is going to take place, not just in the cryptocurrency world, but also in the finance world, is the US debt limit increase. And the head of extreme left-leaning administration, that is Joe Biden, did actually mention via Twitter that House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and him have reached a budget agreement in principle. Now, this thing is still not finalized, but looks like the US debt ceiling is definitely going to be increased. But what he did actually mention in that tweet is that the agreement represents a compromise, which means not everyone gets what they want, and that's the responsibility of governing. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what the final outcome is. And Janet Yellen did actually mention a few days ago that they still have few more days. I believe it is still the 5th of June, which is kind of like a cap for the US debt ceiling to go then to be managed. So most likely, this news regarding the US debt ceiling will be out before the 5th of June. And guys, what I plan to do is, in the episode that I go ahead and release, I'll try to give out some geopolitical implications of what the US debt ceiling is. And unfortunately, guys, it is not looking good. But so far as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is concerned, this kind of news will definitely give a breather for the world economy, which eventually will be positive in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But in the episode that I release, I'll definitely go ahead and mention what kind of an impact it will have on the price of Bitcoin. So what are your thoughts, guys, regarding the US debt ceiling? How will it impact the price of Bitcoin? Do you think the prices will bump up, or do you think the prices will go down? Mention them in the comments below. Now, guys, let me just to give you some basic understanding, guys, of what the US debt ceiling is. Let's say, for instance, if there is an individual and if he has a salary of, let's say, $1,000, if he does go out and apply for a credit card and he does get, let's say, a credit limit of $10,000, and if he does actually go out and spend roughly, say, around $5,000, he needs to pay back this $5,000, and one person's spending is another person's income, which means, let's say, for instance, if he has purchased things worth $5,000, which means he has gone ahead and spent $5,000. If he's using his credit card, he's not going to pay the entire $5,000. Most likely, he's going to make a monthly payment. Now, think of it from the seller's point of view. The seller has to receive $5,000, so that $5,000 is kind of like a debt. Now, imagine this thing at a macro level, not at an individual level. Think of this debt, let's say, at the state level, at a country level, and you're adding expenses such as government spendings, you're adding your social security number. So that debt ceiling currently is at $31.4 trillion. So the big question is, what would happen, let's say, if that person A is not willing or does not have money to pay the $5,000? It just means the other person who's actually sold the things will not be getting the $5,000, and he'll be facing the financial brunt. And this kind of has a dominant impact. And more of this will be talked about in the episode that I go ahead and release. So, guys, it's so critical to truly understand the US debt ceiling is, that we will truly understand what the catastrophic implications will be if the US debt ceiling is not increased. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Bitcoin. And this news is regarding a dollar-backed stablecoins. Unfortunately, guys, I'm not a fan of this. But the news is there is a protocol called the Stably, which is STABLY, and looks like Bitcoin Ordinals hype is definitely in 2023. Now, Stably did actually debut Stably USD in 2019, and it got a $7 million market capitalization across 11 blockchains, including Ethereum, Binance BNB Chain, and Arbitrum. Unfortunately, guys, the US-based Stably, which calls itself a fiat on-ramp for crypto trading, has announced its BRC-20 US dollar-backed stablecoins via Twitter. But there are a few red flags. For starters, guys, the total supply states $69.420 trillion, and according to the company's websites, that's more than double the US national debt and likely a not to meme culture, and things seem to be off to a slow start. One of the biggest scariest things, guys, if you look at the documentation link, they do have a reserve wallet, and the reserve wallet has a balance of only $220. And mind you, guys, this is information that is published via Decrypt's article. So the balance of $220 was when the article was published. Now, while Stably claims its subsidiary, Stably Trading LLC, is a registered money transmitter, the registration number and address on the website also do not match. So this is a massive red flag. And guys, listen, since the last 2 weeks, I might have got at least 14 inquiries when I offer consultation, and all of them have become experts in creating DeFi on stablecoins, in creating NFTs in stablecoins, which in hindsight is a great thing, because in Bitcoin, you do have the ability to do quite a lot of other things, and that's one of the reasons why there were two massive software upgrades in Bitcoin, that is Taproot and Snore signature. But what I'm finding is all of them are trying to build these things either on Ethereum or on another protocol. So my message is pretty simple. If you want to build things on Bitcoin, what I'd strongly recommend you to do is build it either on Liquid Network or Lightning Network or maybe even Stacks. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Binance BUSD. Now Binance BUSD's market cap has gone down by over 60% since Security Exchange Commission went after Binance, and that actually did happen in the first quarter of this year. Now guys, listen, it's really important to know that since 2022, the CFTC and the SEC have almost doubled its crypto and cyber teams in 2022. Because of this, they have a lot of manpower to go ahead and go after some of these exchanges. The one tweet that CZ did actually mention, and this was on February 17, 2023, and what he did actually mention was that Binance BUSD's market capitalization has dropped down from $16.1 billion to $13.7 billion. And mind you guys, this was on February 17, 2023, and he was upset that the market cap of Binance BUSD did actually go down by more than $2 billion. So on 17th of February 2023, Binance BUSD's market cap went down from $16.1 billion to $13.5 billion. And fast forward guys to 29th of May, Binance BUSD's market cap is down to $5.27 billion. Absolutely horrendous. So it's going to be really interesting to see guys. Once central bank digital currency kicks in, what is the use case of Tether USDT, even Binance BUSD or Circle USDC? We still have a long way to go, probably at least another 24 months. Now guys, I'd also like to talk about some news regarding Bitcoin, because lately I'm seeing people using a lot of things for Bitcoin, and there's a news circulating via Decrypt where users can actually earn Bitcoin by playing mobile solitaire game. Now this is 100% correct, but you need to understand that if you were to play the game for 6 hours, you would earn less than 0.15 cents in Bitcoin. But these are unfortunate news, but definitely great marketing news as well. And in tomorrow's episode, guys, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin Tower. I particularly am not a fan of this news, because look, when you have things like Bitcoin Tower, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of sound money. It does sound extremely shady, maybe even scammy as well. I'm not talking about the tower, I'm talking about the whole brand image of Bitcoin. Idly, Bitcoin is competing with the US dollar. Imagine someone saying that we have a US dollar tower, or you have a Great British Pound tower. It does sound extremely ridiculous. But nonetheless, in tomorrow's episode, I'll definitely go ahead and share some positive news as well as some negative thoughts on that as well. Now guys, let's discuss two news regarding Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is regarding Standard Chartered, and the news is that Standard Chartered is planning to launch digital asset custody in Dubai. And Standard Chartered and DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center, signed a memorandum of understanding to collaborate on digital asset custody, and Standard Chartered plans to launch digital asset custody services in the UAE, starting in DIFC, and the service will cater to institutional clients globally, and this is pending approval, of course. And the bank is a market leader in security services industry and aim to provide custody to digital assets. And Standard Chartered subsidiary called Zodia Custody will power the new services with its operational and technical capabilities. And guys, if you want to find out Zodia Custody's website, it is zodia.io. That is Z for zebra or Z for zebra, O for orange, D for David, I for India, A for alpha.io. And Zodia guys are claimed to be the institutional's first grade digital asset custodian, and they are based in London and registered in the UK with the Financial Conduct Authority, in Ireland with the Central Bank of Ireland, and they've also registered with Luxembourg. And Zodia Custody guys brings together unparalleled Tier 1 insight, global custody expertise and leading-edge technology innovation to providing client-focused digital asset custody with a secure framework of oversight and governance. But guys, listen, this goes back to the second line of Bitcoin white paper. What I'd really urge you guys to do is read to Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin white paper. The second line actually states, or towards the center part of the second line it states, that the main benefits are lost if a third party is required to prevent double spending. But when you're having custodial services, unfortunately, it goes against the very ethos of why Bitcoin is created. But nonetheless, definitely some positive news, keeping in mind Dubai and its vision to being a leader in the Web3 space. Now, the Memorandum of Understanding aligns with Dubai's vision to lead in the future of finance, and Standard Chartered sees digital asset as crucial for the future of financial services and is committed to investing in infrastructure and talent. and the UAE-based balanced approach to digital asset adoption and financial regulation makes it an ideal first market for Standard Chartered, and the bank and DIFC will collaborate to promote a thriving digital asset ecosystem, benefiting Dubai and the wider economy, and the partnership will also involve collaboration with DIFC Innovation Hub, supporting startups and scale-ups, and Bill Winters, who is the CEO of Standard Chartered, emphasized the commitment to be a leader in the digital asset space. So definitely positive news for Dubai. Now news suggests this is definitely great for Dubai as a city, and the Memorandum of Understanding signing ceremony was attended by the Governor of the IFC and the CEO of Standard Chartered, and the bank's wider digital asset agenda will be furthered through close collaboration with the IFC and the Dubai fintech sector as a key driver of innovation and economic growth aligned with government's agenda. And recently, there was Dubai Fintech Summit, and looks like Standard Chartered did actually sponsor that event where you could connect with startups, investors, and industry leaders. And in 2006, Standard Chartered became the first bank within the IFC to purchase its premises, and the partnership reflects the bank's long-term commitment to the UAE and the wider region. And Standard Chartered runs its regional activities for Africa and the Middle East from the UAE, including its Islamic banking arm called SADC. So definitely positive news. Now guys, let's discuss second news, and this is a report that is circulating right now, and the report states that Dubai Watchdog highlights risks in global cryptocurrency regulations. So let me try to give out some more information. Now Zavia has actually published this article, so let me try to give out my thoughts and basis on this. That Dubai's regulatory authority is raising concerns about global regulatory gaps in the cryptocurrency industry, and the authority warns of the risk posed by these gaps and the potential for bad actors to exploit them. And they recognize the positive potential of cryptocurrencies but stress the need to update regulations, and Dubai's regulatory authority calls for international collaboration and coordination among regulatory bodies. They advocate for a harmonized approach to address the global nature of cryptocurrencies, and Dubai and Hong Kong are competing to be the global hub for cryptocurrencies. The regulatory landscape in the US has become stricter, particularly after incidents like the downfall of FTX and market crash in 2017. Dubai's regulatory authority emphasizes the urgency of establishing a comprehensive regulatory framework, and the goal is to promote responsible innovation and safeguard investor interest, and the authority aims to address potential risks associated with cryptocurrencies consistently. They highlight the importance of engaging in constructive dialogue among global watchdogs as well. And Dubai's regulatory authority wants to prevent bad actors from exploiting regulatory gaps, and they stress the need for consistent oversight and a robust legal framework across jurisdiction. And cryptocurrencies, as we know, are gaining mainstream attention and adoption, and the authority recognizes the global nature of crypto businesses operating across borders. They urge for international collaboration due to diverse jurisdictional landscape, and Dubai's regulatory authority wants to prevent regulatory arbitrage and ensure a level playing field, and the focus is establishing rules that govern various crypto tokens effectively. And the authority seeks to maintain Dubai's position as a progressive financial innovation hub. Look, if you were to compare Dubai as a city in comparison, let's say, to some of the left-leaning states or blue states in the US, Dubai is definitely taking leaps, maybe 10 steps ahead to some of the states in the US and other parts of the world. So definitely doing stuff. So those are the news, guys, on Crypto Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DX. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by John who asks, are there possibilities for Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high once the US debt ceiling is increased? Unfortunately, John, I definitely do not think so, and this is not a financial advice. And one thing which I've said several times in my podcast, John, is all price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. Now going back to your question, are there possibilities of Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high? Personally, I do not think so, but in the cryptocurrency world, never say never. But the reason being you need to understand, John, is that inflation in US is still extremely high. And there is a saying, if the US has cold, the entire world has pneumonia. Now it's great that the US debt ceiling is definitely going to be increased. But what would actually take Bitcoin to the moon is, let's say for some worldwide circumstance, or in a scenario where Joe Biden does actually decide to go ahead and, let's say, buy a couple of Bitcoins and put it as a reserve, and I'm talking about maybe buying, billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. If that thing happens, John, then yes, Bitcoin will definitely reach a new all-time high. It might probably shatter the all-time high maybe 2 or 3 times more. But will that thing happen? Definitely not. What will happen is, once the US debt ceiling is increased, the economy in general will get a breather. And this might sound great in the short term, and I'm talking about a duration somewhere between 2 to 6 years, because at this point of time, I really am not sure how much is that they're going to be increasing the debt limit by. Now, I very specifically remember that Kevin McCarthy did actually agree to increase the US debt ceiling by $1.27 trillion. Now, if that thing happens, I do feel that the economy will get a breather for roughly around 18 to 2 years, and this ties up with the next US election. But to answer your question, John, unfortunately, I don't think so that Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high. You also need to understand that next year there's also going to be Bitcoin halving. Usually happens historically 6 to 8 months after the Bitcoin halving is when Bitcoin usually meets a new all-time high. Now, will this thing happen this time as well? I really doubt it. So those are my thoughts. And what I recommend you to do is, John, and even for our listeners, is I will be releasing a standalone episode. I'll definitely touch base on this answer. I'll even give my thoughts what would happen if, let's say for a wide circumstance or instance, Joe Biden does actually buy Bitcoin and puts it as a reserve. It'll be absolutely fantastic for Bitcoin. It'll be great for the US economy, and most likely other countries will start doing that. The first left-leaning country that might do that is maybe Canada, but as I've said several times, guys, left-leaning politicians and ideologies, they're definitely not in favor of Bitcoin, not in favor of open speech, definitely not in favor of open source and cryptocurrencies in general. So for them to do that, I extremely think it's unlikely, but those are my thoughts and opinion. So that's it, guys. From last minute, you can see this in Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my other website, area2071.com, that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto Coffee at 8. There we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how the series of episodes in Crypto Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. What you listen to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.